Well. Gonna do a little art stream before I go out tonight. It's a crisp and clear Saturday night with a very beautiful full moon. Good energy in the air. Wrong marker. So, trying to get some house music vibes cooking. A little bit of a trippy day. I had a funeral it's kind of a funeral dinner that I attended. Um, I've been through so much death that like I'm at a point where I'm just whimsical about it, you know. Um, this particular case, in a kind of way, has a happy ending. I, of course, won't get into this person's personal details, but my mission really was just to comfort everyone, give them a sense of closure, and bring just bring everything to a close. I guess it's you know maybe not the the happiest topic to kick off my stream with, but I guess I feel grateful to be alive, and I'm going to go out and shake my bones tonight with the ladies, the lovely ladies of the house music scene, and thank God for the breath in my lungs and the toes on my feet. So that's what's happening. Sent out a link to a bunch of friends in the White Art Collective community to join me for live chat. If they can make it, I don't. I just do this spontaneously, although I do it frequently. So I can't say who might pop on or not. Welcome back to my channel. Where's Oaf? Yeah, he'll probably pop in at some point. Didymus is here. Grateful for every day, that's for sure. God bless you and God bless America. Um, what are you guys up to tonight? Got anything going on? How was your day? I had a little nap-a-rooney. Refresh myself. I'm going to be out late tonight, so I kind of like to get a little sleep, a little nap to kind of fortify myself before I rock it. It's just wild, man. Life is wild. It's just crazy. I will say on this stream that, because of course nobody knows or has any way of knowing whose funeral I went to. I strongly believe that the person who passed away died from the vaccine. It was a sudden death, and this type of sudden death is very common nowadays. You and I know what it is. It's really, there were a few people at the funeral dinner that know me, and I was able to have a little more of a private conversation about it because they were shocked how sudden and like unprecedented this was. They didn't think this person had any health problems, and I was with him closer to before when he passed, and no complaints whatsoever. And then one day I get the call, and he's gone. and that was it. And so it's very, very freaky. The family is like obviously in shock and devastated. Um, and I just feel like the new world order just scored one more death to depopulate the world. And so there you go. There's one more death. Um, no, you can't be sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm not God. I don't decide when people die or this or that. I don't have a. But knowing this person was vaccinated, knowing this situation and the just how this is a thing now. This is happening all the time. It's been happening. I feel pretty sure that that's what it was. Um, so another friend is gone. And if I seem a little on edge, maybe that has something to do with it. But I mean, tonight I'm, you know, choosing a different mood, a different vibe, not so angry at life, I guess. But when you're like 90% sure that this is what it is, and that technically it's murder, it's pretty fucking upsetting. You know what I'm saying? It's very fucking upsetting. Um, and that's what it is. So, when they put poison in the food and poison in the air, and people get cancer and the other shit that goes on in the world, like that's murder too. And in fact, that's mass murder. You know what I'm saying? So it's like nobody gets upset about that though. They don't feel like they can point the finger at anybody and just feel, like, oh, shucks. There it goes. My brother's health condition has gotten much worse. Um, I don't know that he would appreciate me talking about it or whatever, so I won't go into details, but we're bracing for the worst right now. It's just it's kind of a shitty time with this regards those kind of things. Um, but like, so I'm probably going to be up and down, with mood and whatnot as I watch people suffer and die. But don't worry, there's always football to make it better. Don't worry, there's always Facebook to make it better. Uh, it's a good thing I don't drink like I used to. Died suddenly. Yep, another one. Matthew Garnier is here. Did someone wipe a booger on that booger wall? I have the slightest idea what you're talking about. That's a very strange thing to say. Omen Saitian is here. Saitian, are you? 你是中国人吗？你会讲国语吗？会不会？ A name like that, I think we could do a little Chinese chat. So anyway, um, it's just weird how you gotta go from like dealing with those things and then switch gears into you know being normal. Just go to your job and you know um but again, like my main interest and sort of objective is to comfort the family and give them a sense of like what I knew of their son and cousin, brother, whatever that I knew of the person who died, and the great things that I can say about him, and the great things this person accomplished in his life. It's quite awesome. It's quite awesome. So, in this particular case, this person was a kind of, I would say, like the hero of his own story, if you will. Um, so it doesn't bring them back, and it doesn't, and being a guy who's suffered a lot of grieving in my life and such, I don't know how to put this, but it's like it's not being insensitive. It's in a sense taking a different perspective on the situation and saying, like this isn't our true home. We're all here temporarily, and we have to see. Sometimes we have to just see this truth and not and just face it. I guess Um, as I ink a reptilian. Um, and also like when you do these kind of like public dinners with family and friends and coworkers and all that stuff, then you're still in public. You know what I mean? There's still a kind of a thing, and the family and friends, they're very tearful. They're very. It's still pretty raw. It's very raw, and it's like you're not trying to make them cry more. You want to say and do things that will comfort them. In this difficult situation. So what the hell is this music? Yeah, I heard you another time. Shut up. So, and more commercials interrupting me. I don't know why I do that, but I did it. So there you go. Maybe I'll just put on a record or something. I don't know. Hold on. The shot was a pure play on choice. Yeah, it's interesting how. Hold on. Just the psyop of getting people to comply with it, and getting people to police other people. I was talking about this last night, about how do I put this? Um, what did I say? Shit, I forgot. It was something like, okay, there was a meme that I found recently that was something like, the same people that forced you to get the vaccine, or you'll lose your job. Just let in 17 or like 10,000 unvaccinated people, unemployed people, da, 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 like that, like just to show you, like, look how badly you've been duped. Very, very bitter to think about, like how badly people have been duped, in this regard. Um, Pretty harsh if you think about it. Um, and when I had brought it up, to these people that I know, that I believe it was the vaccine that killed him. The one person, her face just like dropped like this. That the you can only imagine. Like she's totally vaccinated. There's no question about it. And I said, I know that people don't want to hear this because they're vaccinated and they're scared. There's a terror there, and you're going to want to talk yourself out of it. You're going to want to, say, oh no, it can't be that. It's got to be something else, and come up with 1,000 excuses. So I can feel safe. This is the way things are now. This is the way things are now. It's rough, but there you go. uh, Jacket, idiot, haha. What does idiot mean? Show it. Are we? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to respond to some of the comments here. I'm not quite sure. Are you guys friends with the communist guy that was on the show, that was in the chat the other night? Some strange reactions there. I hate communists. Yes, me too. Me too, big time. I should say I hate communism, but I don't know how much difference there is there. You know? Yeah, I get a lot of random guests. I think that the show is really, really picking up a lot of I don't know, a lot of traction or something. There's the algorithms really kicking in pretty good, and so there's a lot of people that just pop in and say, "Hey, wow, what's going on here?" and checking it out and stuff. Usually, people that are somehow into comics because obviously comics stream. Um, let's see. Okay, I'll tell you about the comic, and I'll give you a little show. I'll show you some more artwork. Give me a minute here. Let me react to some of the. Trying to see what people are talking about here. What kind of lizard comic is that? Well, the whole comic is not about the lizard. He happens to be like one of the bad guys, in the story. And I'll show you some pages, some of the recent pages, so you can get a little feel for the story. What's it about? So, really, what it is it's a mashup of political memes. And imagine taking memes and turning them into superheroes and supervillains. Like, like Demon Rat is, you've heard, how that's like a play on Democrats, Demon Rats. That's, the Karens, about how, like, let me talk to your manager, that kind of Karen. So like, they have this like femoid robot Karens, and you have Uber Chad. So, the Chad meme is a bit of a thing. The pencil pages are a little hard to see. Um, you got the deep state, you got the swamp. These are like swamp creatures. You've got capitalist pig. So you've got web girls, which are like e-thoughts and such. And there's just a whole world of these ideas. I don't know if you guys remember this meme. Those were, memes kind of like come and go over time. Here's the cover art that you can check out. Uber Ched. There's Grug. Do you remember the Grug meme? There's Clown World. I'm sure you guys probably know Clown World. Pretty common. So that's just a little glance at some of the story. And I'm gonna get back to work, but that gives you a little orientation. It's not my story, meaning I didn't write it. It's my story in that I designed the characters. Um, my channel's okay, but for all intents and purposes, the thought of the potential booger wall intrigues me. I what the fuck? I don't have any idea what that is. Like, where does that come from? I have no idea. Are they just random trolls? No, most of them are pretty cool. Um, they're just fans of like comic art, and a lot of them are aspiring artists. So whatever the tag words that I'm using are you know putting my videos in front of people that are into indie comics or wanting people who want to learn online art. There's a dozen million how to draw channels on YouTube and stuff. I find random lives on YouTube. Yes. How did you get into comic making? Excellent question. Let me just quick check the other questions. You're very talented. Thank you, sir. Boomer jokes. Is that what that is? Okay. Wow, that's really great. Oh, cool. I'm glad you liked it. Subscribe. Awesome sauce. And thank you. Tactical Draws is here. Nice. Welcome, Zach Hunter. Welcome, Jacket. Welcome to everyone who is here, Matthew, etc. Thanks for joining me. This is amazing. He looks like Pepe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a lot of this. I mean, there's a she's I'm like on issue 6 right now. There's a ton of art pages. I could also show you some of my own stuff, which is like patriotic comics in a way. Do you have an Instagram? Well, my Instagram's kind of for just my friends, but this YouTube is a very lively community, and I'm on like almost every night. You can uh, on the front page, the home page of this YouTube, you can see my web address. It's kent-art.weebly.com, and so you can kind of link out to other areas there. Check out more of my stuff. You see my fine art, illustration work. I do kind of like fantasy, sci-fi illustration stuff. So how did I get into comic art? It really was a dream of mine since childhood. Um, I just, something about comics as a kid that really amazed me. I was talking about it the other night, actually, how like when I was a really little kid, I used to believe that like Spider-Man existed and lived in New York City, and one day I'll go to New York City and see him swinging around the buildings and stuff like just as a little 5, 6-year-old kid. This is the stuff that I would think. But and I've always been an artist, and comics is to me a kind of filmmaking. It's like it's the poor man's filmmaking. So that's a kind of phrase that I coined and I use somewhat frequently. The poor man's filmmaking. With pencil and paper, I can you know tell any kind of story. These shows can sometimes go like 2.5 hours or so. Tonight I'm going dancing. I'm going out in about an hour and a half or so. I don't know. So I won't be doing one of these epic marathon art um, shows. But anyway, I'll definitely check it out. Cool beans. Yeah. So like I said, um, if you just snoop around this YouTube channel, you're going to find on the homepage there's the link to my website, and you know good stuff. So um inking is pretty hard to do. That this inking took me a long time to learn. um I happen to know or have known professionals in the comics industry that I used to correspond with, and I would show them my work, and they'd kind of give me pointers and things. And it's just It's just about time. You got to put the time in, and I feel like inking is like the dessert of comics. Like the drawing part is in my case more loose because I know that I'm going to finish it up with the ink brush. Greetings from Western Kind United. Lovely to have you as usual. Watch silently, carry on. Oh, okay, yes, as you were. But yeah, it's a full moon out tonight, and gonna be going out in about an hour or so, having some fun, fun, fun. All work and no play makes Donald a dull boy, so gotta get into that. I'm kind of getting some spring vibes around here too, which is really nice. That I really need springtime. That is just what my soul needs right now. Um, get back to sparring and training more. A lot of shit going down all the time. There's always going to be fucking shit going down. There's just always going to be shit going down. So just try to have, uh, if I, if I'm not overwhelmed, which I usually am, try to work out more. And my diet is going very well. I've changed my diet radically. I'm like, I'd say like 90% vegetarian, to be honest. And I know you guys don't think that's like respectful or whatever. I'm not. I have a unique health situation whereby I have to do that, and so it's a good thing, in my particular case. Um, but and just getting this thing and that thing going. So it's pretty cool. I'm just looking forward to spring and kind of turning some pages in my life, you know. Yeah. Werewolf activities. Uh, okay. Oh, because of the full moon, is that it? Yeah, I'll be doing some werewolf activities tonight. You better believe it, bro. Lot of fine ladies out at this particular event that I'll be going to. Oh, I mean, it for me, it's like flirting is just kind of a fun thing. I don't like. I don't put all my eggs in the basket or whatever. I don't get like huffy about it. I just have a good time with it. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Um, so it's great when you know for a fact that you're gonna have a fucking fantastic time when you get there. When like, oh, this person's gonna be there, that person's gonna be there. The DJs are fantastic. It's just gonna be lit. That's great. That's just such a great feeling. I really need that right now. So cool to have that going. So I got that going for me. Um, I'm just looking into GAPS diet, which is supposed to help a lot with mental health and physiology, restoring gut health and immunity. What does GAP stand for? GAP. Help me out here. GPS. Western kind. Go to Whole Foods and get Oh Brothers habanero sauce. You will experience the spice twice. I love spice. I like spicy food. I'm into that. But habanero, I believe, is like the for people on suicide watch. Like it's ridiculously. It's supposedly isn't that one of like the hottest peppers out there? Or no, the ghost pepper is the one. I'll tell you what. I prefer Asian spices and as to say like Latin American spices. Like, uh, don't ask me why. I mean, having lived in Asia for 5 years, that's just the thing I do. It's what I like. Um, I can remember, especially when I was living in Taiwan, I thought, you know what? there's a lot of spicy food in this culture, and I don't want to miss out. So I'm gonna teach myself to like spicy food. Like at the time, I didn't. I didn't grow up like that. I had kind of a plain palate, if you will, and and so little by little by little, I kind of upped it up more and more and more until I could enjoy spicy food. So now I'm spicy man. Look out, ladies! Here comes spicy man. But like I find that Asian spicy spices, I don't know, spice sauces, like those kind of things. They mix it with other stuff, so it's much more flavorful. It's not just raw, straight red pepper or something. They've got like it's very common in Chinese food. They use black bean sauce. Um, it's just a bunch of different stuff. There's something you guys would find really gross. It's rotten tofu in the spice. I know that sounds nasty. Um, if it's like you're living in Asia and you're like, okay, don't tell me what it is I'm eating until after I eat it because I know I won't eat it if you tell me what it is. So there's a good bit of that. It's not going to kill you or whatever, so you'll survive. But I used to when I was teaching English in Taiwan for the first year. It's my first year there. I'm sort of getting acquainted with the town that I'm living in, and then like during lunch break, I would leave the office and go out to like a local restaurant and grab a bite and come back to class and teach my next class, whatever. And I taught English. And so, you're thinking like, well, I can't go far. I got to get back to class, whatever. Um, and I found a really nice, something like a dim sum kind of a restaurant where they have like these glass, what do you call them? They're tall glass container thingies that have like shelves on them and they rotate and there's plates of food on them, or whatever the fuck that's called. So, and then you see like, oh man, this looks good. This looks good. I'm gonna grab this and that and the other thing, and then just kind of compile your lunch together. And a lot of the stuff I had no idea what it was. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it does look good, so I'm grabbing it. And then one day, I, one of the teachers, I don't know if she came with me to it, but somehow we maybe we just met there for lunch. I don't remember. But I grabbed that and I'm, sitting down, we're eating and talking. She goes, "Do you know what that is, right?" That's the worst thing to hear when you're eating Chinese food. Someone goes, "You know what that is, right?" Oh shit, here it comes. And it wasn't a big deal, but they're pig ears, and the Chinese have a way of like cooking stuff that like they could take an old shoe and make it delicious. Like they just put, I don't ask me how they do it, but they just with their sauces and their Chinese magic, they somehow make it really good. So I thought, well, shit, I mean, I'm already used to it, and it's good. I'm in my head, I'm thinking not so much like how gross that is, but how it doesn't have any nutritional value. So I'm like, well, there's no point in really eating this. It's just fucking cartilage. Um, but like I said something that was maybe rude or inappropriate. I said, "Oh, we only feed that to dogs in America." It's like, not quite the diplomatic reaction you were supposed to have there, bud. Not quite the right thing to say in that situation. So, like, oh yeah, we only feed that to dogs. I did that a bunch of times when I was living in Taiwan. One of my like the manager, like one of the managers at the school that I taught at. He took me for like an afternoon trip to like another village nearby, and they in this one part of the village they had harvested all these vegetables and they were drying them out which is part of how they eat them. But how they were drying them out was they just lined the street, like, like. And I said to him, like, if in America, if there's food on the ground, we throw it out. Like, it's dirty, we throw it out. And like, you could see he was like kind of horrified that I said that. Like, he was really, really offended. Because it was essentially saying, like, you know what I mean. I mean, you get the general idea. And I look back and I do feel kind of bad about that. Like, I didn't mean to be offensive or whatever, but I was not thinking really. Anyway, it's my life. Well, it's good to have you guys here. I think maybe I'll turn the tunes up a bit more. Um, you guys have any questions? A lot of you are coming in now, and it was something I was talking about earlier when nobody was really on the stream yet. I just went to like a funeral dinner today for someone that I've known for a long time, and you know, I I I personally believe that he died from the vaccine. He just died suddenly. I mean, like, the EMT or whatever, the ambulance people, they just said like he was gone before he hit the ground. And I mean, wow, this. So I mean, what could that be? Like a stroke or a heart attack? Something of that nature. But without having any health problems whatsoever, that doesn't make any fucking sense. You don't just die suddenly like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm aware of how the vaccine does its little dirty job. Um, it's going to be like this for a while now. This it's just going to be like this. Like, people are going to start kicking off. I mean, they've been kicking off. It's not new. Um, and everyone has to kind of brace themselves uh, for mourning and feeling the loss. Um, Sometimes we don't handle those feelings very well. You know. For me, I mean, if he had died naturally, I think I would have a different reaction to it. But knowing that this is just one more fucking globalist murder, and someone in my personal life, makes me pretty fucking angry. But I'm not gonna anger post tonight. Yes, you lucked out. Um, there's gonna be a lot of that this year, I suspect. I mean, I know for certain some people that are not doing well and probably don't have long, but just trying to be helpful. Check the chat here. We got Dios here. Mio Dios. Welcome, Dios, to my comics art stream. I'll give you a little show here whenever I have a couple new people. Kind of give them a little look at some of the comics art that I'm doing. That's from this particular job. Um, Thank you, thank you. Are you an artist, Dio? Are you into comics? What's your gig? What's it all about? This is a cover for one of my original comics. That this piece I'm doing right here is somebody else's story. But if you go to my website, which is on the homepage, you'll find the link to kent-art.weebly.com. You can see more of my original art, my fine art, my illustration, all that good fun stuff. And now you know. So what are you guys up to on this fine Saturday evening? I don't know where, like, Dios, where are you from? are you like? I should like. What country are you from? I should say. I get a lot of people from Latin America that come and discover this channel. Had a guy from Brazil that popped in last night. Um, Sometimes there's a little bit of a language barrier, so I don't know how that works. But I used to do inking with traditional brush and India ink, which I kind of want to do, but it's just so much more time consuming, and especially with real ink. When I say real ink, I'm talking about stuff like this. There's there's always a chance that you're going to spill it or smear it. This paper, I'm using kind of cheap paper because you want to cut your costs on production and stuff, maximize your profit. Um, and so like this paper isn't really like watercolor paper. It wouldn't doesn't hold the ink. It's more bleedy, if that makes sense. Um, but the end result is what matters. And after it's digitally colored, the pages look fantastic. So there you go. And now you know. Um, so looking forward to going dancing tonight. That's like the 10th time I've said that. Anything you guys want to talk about? Politics, art, culture, current current events, um, music. Uh, not like a really like a cryptocurrency guy. I don't have much to say on that. I It's funny. You just I'm so tired of all these like fucking you know everybody's got some kind of business system to sell. I get them a lot in my feeds and stuff, and I'm like, I just don't like trust anybody anymore. Basically, how if you're out there going like, hey, if you want to do investment and you got something in money's money, look at me, I got big cars and all that. Like straight away, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Like I don't trust you at all. Like just because like I don't know. I guess I'll never know. I'll never know how to make those big Bitcoin bucks. I think the way it works with investment and Bitcoin is that like the more people invest in one thing, the greater the value of that thing. So what they're sort of scamming you into is to get you to invest in that thing. So the value rises. Seven Serpents is here, and my good friend Hippocratic Oath. Good to have you guys back. I draw a lot, but it's more to help me think, so it doesn't really look like art. Are you talking about more like abstract kind of art, things of that nature? Oaf says, "Why are the rats attacking the Karens? I would guess they would be allies against the hero." So I'll give you the inside scoop on how that works with this particular scene. There's a kind of a cabal of bad guys, and they have like a reptilian overlord. Actually, that's what's happening in this scene right here. Is that hold on? I'll zoom out. So like this little guy, the demon rat, you've seen him in other bits. He has like he's the guy that commands the rat forces, and this guy commands the robots, the Karen robots, and they're kind of going back and forth to their reptilian leader, like which one's a better way to take out the superhero. And so it's kind of like two people fighting for favoritism among with their boss, if that makes sense. Like, oh no, my robots are the best in the industry, and they'll do the job. And no, 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 yeah, my rat army will, they're possessed by demons, and they'll go in there and they'll do the thing. So that's just kind of like a narrative device, I guess. Like, yeah, a narrative device to just create more intrigue and fun in the topic, in the scene. And then there's even a third group of kind of robots that come in that are more like these sort of hardcore feminist robots. So, I try to give you guys some sense of how the story is going, but like it's hard when like it's a I don't know. I mean, it's like if you dropped into the middle of Lord of the Rings and you saw, the orcs carrying um the elves, or not the elves, the little guys with the big feet, the hobbits. And you're like, why are they doing that? Well, okay, I got to tell you the whole fucking story just to tell you that one little scene. So it's pretty hard to get into it that way. Um, and there you go. All right. And now you know. Mhm. So what else is shaking? What else have I got going on? Just most of the stuff going on in my life right now is just like adulting shit. Like not fun stuff to talk about. Uh, Financial things and legal responsibilities. I feel like I'm in a fairly good place health wise, although I'm in a kind of a space where I'm like, you know what, I'm probably gonna have to get up early to work out because, like for me, my that time in the morning, I don't know between well, like I wake up almost every night around 4, and then I can't get back to sleep, which drives me out of my fucking mind. I hate that so bad. So I have to meditate or I'll do something, and then I finally fucking go back to bed. But then, whatever, like sort of around, say, I don't know, like 6, 7, what have you, like around that time, then I'm really sleeping deeply. And that is what I need to function on my job. I need that time to get that really deep rest. You know what I'm saying? So like getting up right at that time when I'm, right where I'm getting that essential sleep to do my job and shit. And, I guess you guys get it. It's just the bottom line is like you come home from work, you're fucking burned out, and it's like tough shit. You got to work out now because this is the only fucking time you have. You know what I mean? The good news though is that if you love like doing the kung fu stuff, that's motivates me a lot. I put on some, good music, and I always kind of ease into it. Like I like almost sort of like, you know, some stretching, breathing, the usual stuff, and then pick it up. You know, make it more intense. I've got a like a punching bag, like a big heavy bag is what they call it. It's got sand in it and shit. And been trying out some new techniques on that. That's essentially like different forms of power generation, and that's been going well. That's cool. Meeting up with a teacher on Monday to learn some new techniques. It's not a system that I've ever learned before or done before, but I trust this particular teacher It's not. It's not like Kempo. It's not even a well-known style. It's like it's hard to even describe it. But anyway, it's looking forward to that. Just kind of in a mode where I want to learn more stuff. I feel like I've already mastered what I know, so it's time to expand, I guess. But I'm very selective about what I'm expanding into. Like it's sort of like I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like if you had a puzzle and you finished doing the puzzle and you wanted to like keep going with the puzzle, you would have to find another puzzle that have pieces that match it, that somehow would be able to connect to it logically. So that's the best description I can give. Mm. Um, and I think the thing though with martial arts is that there's I don't know what to call it other than kind of like physical habits. Uh, like you train so much in behaving or acting or moving in a certain way over years that it just becomes second nature to you. And then if you try to learn something new, it 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 doesn't flow. It's hard to make it work. It's hard to make it match whatever it is that you've been doing. Um, so when you can find something that does match, then it's pretty awesome. It's like, all right, cool. This is something I can use. So it's been exciting, kind of getting into that. But the thing of it that always the disconnect or the difficult part with this martial arts stuff is that to go full throttle on anybody, you would harm them, you would injure them badly. So that's where you use equipment and pads or other training devices, heavy bags, this and that, whatever. Um, so I kind of have to sort of remind myself a bit of that to be like, okay, when I am sparring, I'm having fun, I'm exercising, but don't get too used to this way of moving because like and I mean I really if I was in a real combat situation I would have to go full retard, like savage, which I don't think would be hard to do, but yeah, anyway. um this is an interesting thing in the news. I think it's quite interesting. You guys know Candace Owens. So she's an African American conservative. She's on what's his face, Ben Shapiro's channel. You guys know who these people are, so you know what I'm talking about. And since the Israel's war with against, and I shouldn't even call it a war, like since their genocidal program against the Palestinians, paid for by the American taxpayer. Um, a lot of people, just like the whole narrative has been falling apart. People have been questioning and rebelling against Israel and the Jews and all of this shit. And you guys know what's going on. Like this is sort of the paradigm shift that we're currently in. So every time something happens where the Overton window moves more, it's a big deal. I feel it's like something to celebrate. So today, there's a clip of her And what do you guys know the one I'm talking about? It just came out. Oh yeah, the clip is her saying, "What were the books that the Nazis burned?" And like this is a trope for us. We know this. Like, this is just a like an old meme for us. What were those books that the Nazis burned? And so for her, it's like the first time that she's looking behind the curtain to see, the true Wizard of Oz that's pulling the levers and the levers and this and that. And so she's like, well, it turns out, and so she's saying very matter of factly, like, you know, the this is the origin of transsexuals and LGBT and all this Jewish shit that we're now fighting and facing. And she's like, how come I didn't learn that in school? How come we don't know that? So she's going on and on about this. And I'm like, oh shit, you're gonna get in trouble with Ben Shapiro. He's gonna have to you know, dock your pay or something like this. Is You're not supposed to look behind the curtain there, Candace. And I saw like some girl in our sphere, in our side of the political spectrum, saying something like, "I hate it when people fall over this girl, this woman." She was not using nice words describing Candace Owens, but and I'm like, look at this from a meta political view. She is shut up, shut up. She is kind of, how do I say this? Like, the fact that she's a black woman gives her a pass. Nobody's gonna fight her in the conservative Inc. world. Like they're like, oh, we're so happy that we've got a black woman that's a conservative, and you know, da 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 da, the black vote, that whole thing, and I don't dislike her. I mean, I used to criticize her a bit because like she's just such a grifter. But I'm also in the frame of mind that like that's helping us do our work, like, go for it. Like I'm not gonna complain like Kanye West and shit. But anyway, it's good. It's good news. It just means that we're so like if you're questioning that, then what's the next question? And the next and the next, and people are gonna finally start learning the truth about history. They're gonna learn the truth about the Jews. They're gonna learn the truth about Uncle A. And it's the path that you and I have been on for however long, and we figured it all out. Well, looks like Conservative Inc. is on that path. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm being, we can all be black pilled and negative about it. But did you ever think that that would occur? I would say no. Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock. My alarm's going to go off in a second. Gonna get ready to go out. Um, let's read some comments. You can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. That was a good one. That was a good one, bro. Nice, very good. The wake up of the normies game feels like pushing a boulder downhill at the moment. We're doing well. Not we. I mean, I think we are obviously behind it. Ultimately, obviously, none of this would happen without us. But like we're getting a lot of gains, is what I should say. Hippocratic Oath says, I love these questions. Some of my normie friends are asking similar things. Israel will never be looked at the same. True. I think the cat is out of the bag, the horse is out of the barn, and you know, the the situation is unraveling. So that's why they're bringing out okay, we're back. Anyway, what's his face? John, the fuck is his face? That Jew comedian, political comedian, John Stewart. Um, they brought him out of retirement to help control the narrative again. And just as all this shit's going down. So we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. But The thing is, these conservative ink grifters, they have to go to the far right because there's nowhere else to go. You see what I'm saying? Like that their talking points are tired, and it's like, oh, well, what else is there? Oh, well, this is fresh. All right, let's go there, and they're going there. So like, I'm fucking thrilled, man. I'm really thrilled with it. Anyway, I am gonna wrap it up. My goys, my goyams. You have yourself a great evening. I'm about to go kick it. Trip to light, fantastic, as they say. Thanks for joining again. I hope my new visitors enjoyed a little bit of the show. Um, I wish you all well, and we'll see you next time. Okay, later, alligator. Cheers.